Welcome to episode 11 of the War Room. We've already seen 4 quarterbacks for the 2016 NFL Draft, and Christian Hackenberg out of Penn State, Cardale Jones out of Ohio State, Connor Cook out of Michigan State, and Jared Goff out of California. Today, I'm going to show you guys 5 more quarterbacks, and we'll start with that I think have a chance to blossom into possible starters. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be starters until I see them on tape, but we're going to watch them anyway and see where it goes. And we'll start with John Robertson out of Villanova. So who should we watch on tape here? So we'll watch him against Delaware, and we'll watch him against Syracuse.
And they could be champions of the CAA. It's the battle of the blue, Villanova and Delaware.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about the noise. I want to mute that. How do I mute the noise? There we go. There's John Robertson. He's warming up, handing off the ball. He's making plays from a pro-style offense. So, yeah, it kind of reminds me of Garoppolo in terms of the small school quarterback that can come out and just flat out dominate. Well, he knows a balanced run-first offense, and he knows the shotgun spread offense. Throws a short pass to number 8, his wide receiver. There he goes, out of a regular snap. Good West Coast pass, and that's to White. Yeah, I mean, his throws are crisp. He's got good mechanics and release on the ball, so I kind of really like what I see from John Roberts so far, and he might be a sleeper. Who knows? Takes off and runs on that play. Big gain of yards. And we've seen these small school guys turn pro. Romo, Flacco, Jimmy Garoppolo. Robertson looks like he could be one of those guys that's just an effective starter. I could see this guy. He might not get a starting gig, but he definitely looks like he can be a backup. And even if he has to wait for that starting gig, I just see too much upside, too much skill on tape. But this is one game against Delaware. We need to see what this guy does against Syracuse before we anoint him a starter. Again, we watched quarterback, Idaho State's quarterback. Now, we thought he was a starting quarterback, but nobody drafted him. Justin Arias. So, yeah, there are quarterbacks that can. So he can hold the ball as a snapper, as a backup quarterback. These are Villanova versus Delaware highlights. Finally. So we got one good series of John Roberts against Delaware. How's he going to throw against Darrell Eskridge in the Syracuse secondary? John Robertson. Robertson fires. Good pass there. Here's the full-length version of this game. It's good protection on that throw, and hands it off there. Yeah, I mean, the highlights, the Delaware highlights for Villanova, they may have edited out some things, some bad plays that John Robertson made, and we need to see that before we see this guy against Syracuse. So he hands the ball off there, John Robertson, showing a lot of composure on that drive. Who's got the ball? I think Delaware has it. Villanova scored again. How did Villanova score again? Yeah, if this game takes up too much time, we'll go to something else. We'll go to another highlight, or we'll save the other quarterbacks for another day. Because I've got to be done with this by 2 or 3 maybe. No, like we were planning on watching Cody Kessler after this, then Patrick Towles, the Kentucky quarterback, then Trevon Boykin, and then Dak Prescott to wrap this up. That's what our original plan was for today. And we might still stick with that. But I didn't think the John Robertson highlights, we were going to get this much. Good release. I want to see him make more NFL throws, but I like what I see from this guy. And I feel like there is enough upside for him to develop into a Flacco type of quarterback. I don't think he's elite by any stretch of the imagination, but I think you can make him a solid starter like Flacco. If you, but he's gonna be a project, and you're gonna have to be patient with him. So there's 3 minutes left in this first quarter. It's 13-0 Villanova. Yeah, I mean, in this series, he's struggling to communicate with some of his players. It looks like he needs to get rid of the ball quicker because the defender anticipated he was going to throw that way. And in the NFL, if a defender has his arms up like that, he's going to catch the ball and probably return it for a pick six. He's glad he got the completion off, but if a defender's that close to his face in the NFL, it might result in a pick six. So, yeah, I'm not really certain if he executes that throw successfully in the NFL with pressure under him. But he made the right read that time and completed the ball, and that's what matters. Good patience, waiting for the play to develop. Come on. 3rd and 16 in the second quarter. Okay, here he's getting pressured, and he reacts to that pressure by trying to run it. He doesn't see anybody open, and Delaware makes the stop. I mean, he did well in the first quarter. Delaware does a good job covering his receivers. He can't find anyone open. That guy was open, believe it or not. But he decides to take off and run, and he gains more yards. But he's one of those guys that if his options aren't open, he's gonna take off and run with it rather than let the play develop. 4th and 4. He gained 12 yards on that play, so he fires it deep. They go for it, and they get a touchdown as a result. So very gutsy play calling to just go for it on 4th and 4 and get a touchdown like that. Right, we're on the air. I forgot. I'm still in the air. So it's 27-7. We'll go ahead a little bit. I don't know what the hell the Delaware mascot is doing. Fourth quarter, it's 27-21, Villanova and Delaware. So I mean, I skipped the second and third quarter, I guess, and we didn't really see much. I'm guessing some of his worst plays occurred in that moment as Delaware got momentum back in the game. Yeah, he faked a handoff and that backfired. Thinking he could take off and run, kind of like a pistol offense. And it's 3rd and 8 here. And all of his plays are out of a shotgun, and some of them are passing plays. Other plays are plays where I mean, that wasn't a bad throw. His receiver just dropped an easy ball there, and that really killed the drive for them. I'm pretty sure Delaware just punted it there. All right, Delaware leads by 1. And I think Villanova ended up winning this game. So 2-minute drill. Let's see what he does here, because he made some terrible throws. This guy definitely looks like a backup now that you look at the tape and you look at the end of the game. Because sure, he's making some good throws, but the receivers are dropping easy balls. There's a lack of accuracy on some of these throws. You don't see this guy operate out of a pro-style offense. He'll be a good backup, but I don't know if he's starting material now. I haven't seen him against Syria. There he throws a deep pass. Receiver drops it. So there is a lack of accuracy on these throws. So he's not an accurate quarterback in the medium and deep passing game. He's not the most accurate quarterback in that aspect. He tries to throw on the run here, gets pushed out. So it's 4th down now. I'm guessing they convert this 4th down and they build off that momentum, because it's 4th and 15. And Villanova, you saw them celebrate in the previous highlight video. So how this 4th down obviously changes the game for them. It's 4th and 15, and Villanova is 1 play away from losing this game. This is the play that changes the game. He's pressured, gets some good protection here, and his receiver bails him out with a nice catch in coverage. And he threw it in coverage there, but Livers is the captain, and he bailed him out. Yeah, I mean, this isn't the best protection. I mean, he was open, but the defender was about to get some coverage on him. One minute and 11 seconds left. And you've got 3 downs to make something happen here. Now he's giving his players a second to rest. He's waiting for the coach to instruct him and give him a play, because think about it. The quarterback, he has to hear certain things, and he doesn't hear anything. And since the clock is stopped, he'll just hike it, wait for his men to get open. See, there's a lack of accuracy on these throws at the end of the game. And we didn't see that in the first session of highlights. So this quarterback has issues with accuracy. And you don't see that right away in this game, because he looks pretty accurate early in the game, especially when Villanova took that 20-0 lead. So what else are we going to see here? Yep. I don't know if that was a catch or not, but it was a good effort by Livers, the captain, to try to make something happen here. So 3rd down here, and there are about 51 seconds left in the game. Delaware's 51 seconds away from pulling off a huge comeback after trailing 20-0. And now Villanova's got the ball, and John Robertson, we'll see where this goes. Riverston drops back in the pocket. He doesn't see anybody open. Now I think his guy may have caught that. We'll see. The clock is ticking. There are less than 40 seconds left, and John Robertson is calling a timeout here on 4th and 1. 33 seconds left. And I know the coach was like, yeah, you don't want to call that, but it's a big play here, and regardless of what happens, I think it's safe to say that Delaware would have won if they made the stop here. Don't execute the timeout. So John Robertson in that game against Delaware, he gets 2 4th down conversions, and in the first quarter he threw a touch. Early in the second quarter, it was 4th and 4, and Villanova decides to go for it. He throws a touchdown on 4th down. So this quarterback's a 4th down machine, which is very intriguing. Like, this guy went 3 for 3 against Delaware on 4th down. Good job by Robertson. He goes out of bounds. He stops the clock, and he gets a 3rd, 4th down conversion of the game. And he threw a touchdown on 4th down in the second quarter. He throws for completion on 4th down to keep the drive alive, and he runs out of bounds to stop the clock and keep the drive alive after converting a 3rd, 4th down. And touchdown. Villanova scores with 23 seconds left. The officials just rule it a touchdown just now, and so it was 35-28. Villanova wins that game. They go for 2. They get it. I didn't watch the 2-point conversion, but we'll watch Villanova versus Syracuse real quick here for football, and then we will All right, so those were the John Robertson highlights, and we'll show you the other quarterbacks on another date. Possibly, maybe we'll watch them this Sunday or tomorrow. But this is what I learned. I learned that John Robertson is a backup. I thought this guy reminded me a little bit of Joe Flacco at the beginning of the game, the way he picked apart Delaware, the way he was moving the ball downfield, and you saw a lot of good stuff from this guy. At the same time, he struggled. After they got that 20-point lead, 20-0 lead, Delaware finally scored. Villanova got kind of careless for a bit, and in the fourth quarter, you saw this guy make inaccurate throws, inaccurate deep pass, inaccurate medium pass. Sure, his receivers may have dropped some of those balls, but at the same time, there was a lack of accuracy on John Robertson's part. He needs to correct his accuracy and learn how to play in a pro-style offense. If he can do that, he could develop into a Flacco-type quarterback, but there's no question he's going to start out on the bench as a backup if he gets drafted. So that's that for this video. We might watch the other 4 quarterbacks that have a chance to develop into starters at another date, but I've got a lot I need to code today, so we're going to do that. And tomorrow, we're probably going to watch the linebackers, Pac-12 linebackers, because I want to get as much tape on the first-round picks as possible for the 2016 draft. And I do want to get tape on the 2016 quarterbacks as well, but I want to get tape on the first-round prospects first, so I can adjust things with my draft board and stuff. So this is Chris Ransom, and you've been watching The War Room. So long.